Om Namo Bhagavate Nityanandaya. Every word of Avadhuta Parabrahma Bhagavan Nityananda is the nectar of wisdom that oozed out from the depth of experience that transcends the logic and minds of the mortals like us. When we cook food, either in gold vessel or in earthen vessel, the dog has no difference. Similarly, a jnani has no difference between good or bad, dark or light. He treats everyone equally. Bhagavan Nityananda is a disciple from Billava community by name Pujya Mahabalananda Swamigalu has no difference between his disciples and devotees. He loved everyone equally. Pujya Mahabala Swami's parents were staunch devotees of Avadhuta Parabrahma Bhagavan Nityananda. They were running a popular hotel in Mumbai. Mahabala Swami's mother passed away in Ganeshpuri itself. After that, his father went for second marriage in order to take care of his son. When he came to know that his second wife is the cause of trouble to his son, he filled a sack with a silver coin and then he took his son to Ganeshpuri, handed over both to Bhagavan. That's how, since his childhood, Pujya Mahabala Swami blessed to be in the divine company of Bhagavan Nityananda. As per the command of Nityananda Swami, Mahabala Swami left to Himalaya. When he returned after completion of his pilgrimage, he has turned very fragile and weak. After he took a sacred bath in the powerful ponds created by Bhagavan Nityananda at Ganeshpuri, he became healthy. When he was a young boy, Bhagavan asked him to stay in Kanchangarh, which he never wanted because he always wanted to be in the company of Bhagavan Nityananda. At Kanchangarh, he served Janananda Swami, who is known for his anger. Thus, Mahabala Swami wanted to annoy Janananda Swami so that he may send him back to Ganeshpuri. Janananda Swami was well aware of Bhagavan's intention with which he has sent Mahabala Swami. Whenever Mahabala Swami prepared spicy curry and sweet tea to annoy him, he laughed and said, "It's a sweet tea and it's a tasty curry." The Kode family was living in the residential part of Sirsi. When they got to know that there is a hidden treasure in the yard, they called a mantrik from Kerala and asked him to unearth the treasure. In the process, a human skull emerged out of the earth instead of treasure. The mantrik met with a terrible death, and Kode family had to face series of never-ending problems. Thus, they approached Ganeshpuri to seek advice of Bhagavan Nityananda. Nityananda Swami told them that there is dead body in the yard which is causing all these troubles, and below that there is a hidden treasure. Bhagavan gave a stick in Mahabala Swami's hand, who was standing beside him dressed like Swami Vivekananda, and asked him to go to Kode house and explained in detail what need to be done. After reaching Sirsi, Mahabala Swami hit the ground with stick thrice. A skull jumped off the earth and broke into pieces. A huge vessel containing treasure also emerged out of the earth. On top of it, there was a snake with raised hood. People who witnessed this scene were stunned. "Do not dare to attempt to acquire this treasure. After 400 years, the destined owner will get it," said a celestial voice. After which, treasure disappeared into earth. As per the instruction of Bhagavan Nityananda, Kode family donated a piece of land to Mahabala Swami and built an ashrama there. One day, Bhagavan Nityananda appeared in Mahabala Swami's dream and told him, "Tomorrow, a person with severe knee pain will approach you. Give him that sacred bhasma." And the next day, as Bhagavan's word, there came a man by name Nagraj Shetty, who is a taxi commissioner by profession, and he was suffering from knee pain. Mahabala Swami gave him the sacred bhasma and blessed him. Miraculously, Nagaraj Shetty was completely cured out of his knee pain. As a token of gratitude, he constructed a new ashram in the place of small hut, and then he contributed for the development of the ashram until his retirement. Mahabala Swami wanted to do the Pratishtapana of Bhagwan Nityananda's Panchaloha statue at Sirsi ashram at particular time. The statue was brought from Mumbai and it was carried in a truck. The truck was stuck in the middle and there was requirement of repair. They sent a message to Mahabala Swami saying that it may not be possible to reach on time. At this moment, Mahabala Swami took a oath saying that if Bhagwan's statue do not reach on time, then he will sacrifice his life to Gurudeva. In miraculous way, the vehicle reached Sirsi 20 minutes prior to the fixed time, and after that, installation of Bhagwan Nityananda's Panchaloha statue was done at the fixed time. Once when Mahabala Swami had been to Ganeshpuri, few devotees from Sirsi wanted to receive darshana of Bhagwan Nityananda. Since it was afternoon, Bhagwan Nityananda was inside his room. Mahabala Swami opened the window of the room and peeked in. He couldn't believe his own eyes that he saw Hanuman singing bhajan in front of Bhagwan, saying, Kala Ram, Kala Ram. The devotees also witnessed this divine moment. This incident makes us realize that Bhagwan Nityananda is not different from Lord Rama. Mahabala Swami brought Guru Paduka from Ganeshpuri and Bhagwan Nityananda himself has placed his lotus feet on this Paduka and blessed Mahabala Swami saying, Go to Gokarnatha. Sanakatte is the divine place. Go and live there. Mahabala Swami came to Gokarna and he built a small ashram named as Swarna Kutera. Mahabala Swami had good number of devotees from Bhatkala. They wanted to construct Bhajana Mandir at Bhatkala and they have already seen the place of construction. When they approached Mahabala Swami with this proposal, Mahabala Swami suggested to go to Bhagwan Nityananda at Ganeshpuri and seek his advice. Bhagwan gave his consent to the place they have looked and blessed them. That's how Bhajan Mandir was constructed at Bhatkala. In the year 1991, a landowner by name Bhairu Karvi constructed a mandir of Bhagwan Nityananda. As per the order of Bhagwan Nityananda, Mauni Baba Karunananda Swami, in order to observe Chaturmasya Vrata for 41 days, he sat in Bharat Mandir at Gokarna. He brought 41 jaggery peas to eat one every day and drink water. He observed that ants filled in the box of jaggery and they were moving in line carrying the little chunks. This reminded Karunananda Swami the words of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. I am present in all the living beings, from the tiny ants to the giant elephant. Feeding the ants is equivalent to feeding all the living creatures. Thinking so, he bought separate box of jaggery and continued his breath. At another place in Gokarna, Mahabala Swami was carrying out Sadhu Bhojana and Bala Bhojana activities. He was very proud of it. During the same time, Mahabala Swami went to Ganeshpuri to have darshana of Bhagwan Nityananda. Bhagwan asked him to go and witness how Annadana is carried out in a grand way by Karunananda Swami at Bharata Mandir. Thousands of people eat with satisfaction, also carry food to their homes. On returning to Gokarna, Mahabala Swami visited Bharata Mandir, but he could neither spot huge vessels which stored cooked food for the people and no one was carrying food. He expressed his confusion with Karunananda Swami, who told him, here Annadana activities carried out by gods themselves. One has to witness this with inner vision. Look at the disciplined army of those tiny ants carrying jaggery chunks. Mahabala Swami was amazed at this divine perception of Annadana, and his ego was destroyed by Bhagwan Nityananda. At Sirsi Ashram in the year 1964-65, carving work of Shanishwara statue was handed over to Manjappa Acharya. Manjappa Acharya requested Pujya Mahabala Swami to touch the stone and to continue with the process of Muhurta. Mahabala Swami initially was reluctant to touch, but Manjappa Acharya was adamant and he forced Mahabala Swami to touch the stone. Mahabala Swami touched the stone and blessed him. When Manjappa Acharya started carving out standing on the stone, suddenly he was thrown up like a ball and he fell forcibly on the ground. He stopped breathing. People surrounded there looked at the scene and they all started screaming that Manjappa Acharya is dead. Mahabala Swami brought holy water and sprinkled on Manjappa Acharya. After that, he came back to his consciousness. Mahabala Swami told him, "That's why I was reluctant to touch the stone. Because of my sparsha, the stone has divine power now. Be careful hereafter. Do not keep your foot on the stone." He blessed them and asked them to continue their work. At Shirsi Mandir of Mahabala Swami, we can find Sri Rama Mandir, Bhagwan Nityananda Swami Mandir, Uma Maheshwari Mandir, Shani Mandir, and Mahabala Swami's Samadhi Mandir. All disciples of Bhagwan Nityananda are very powerful. Bhagwan Nityananda has blessed Mahabala Swami with all siddhis. Once we surrender ourselves to Bhagwan Nityananda completely, he will protect us in every step and he will be with us. Mahabala Swami was well aware of this. Once, Mahabala Swami, along with other devotees, left to Ganeshpuri. As they passed Pune and on the highway, when their car braked, suddenly the car started swirling like a spinning top. Mahabala Swami started chanting, "Om Namo Bhagavate Nityanandaya." The car suddenly stopped and everyone was saved from the danger. Ganapati Tandela was present in the car and he recalls the incident even today with fear and devotion. Behind Sanakatte Mata, there is a hammock. Pujya Mahabala Swami went to that hilly place and he sat for meditation without food and water. After 3 days, when he came back to his conscious, he experienced severe hunger and he ate the leaves of Kalli plant which was nearby. After eating that, there appeared boils on his body and it turned completely poisonous to him. When he could not tolerate the pain, he pleaded Nityananda Bhagwan to protect him. Bhagwan gave him message saying that, "Remove the stone which is lying in front of you. There is water. Drink that and take bath in it." As per Bhagwan's instruction, he moved the stone and water splashed from there. Even today, one can find water in it, which is called as holy water. It never dries. After drinking this holy water, Mahabala Swami was completely cured. People gathered there were stunned to see water in the hilly place. A marriage function was arranged in a Kalyana Mandapa, which is close to Sirsi Ashram. But Mahabala Swami was not invited for the same. For marriage function, they required enough quantity of water, but the well water was totally dried. When they had no idea what to do next, Ramana Kulakarni approached Mahabala Swami to seek his advice. Mahabala Swami told them not to worry and filled a vessel with water and asked them to pour that water into well. They did the same thing. And there was enough water to serve the purpose of marriage. Immediately after the completion of the marriage function, once again the well completely dried. This shows that Mahabala Swami, out of his Divya Shakti, has filled the well with water. Once there was a Bhajana Saptaha organized at Sirsi Ashram. There came a devotee to take part in the same Saptaha. But she was very much worried about the goat that she has kept in her house. So she wanted to leave. But Mahabala Swami insisted her to stay back. Next day when she reached home, she noticed that her house was robbed and she was surprised to see the jewelry bag in front of Tulsi Katta. This incident shows that if there is Guru Kripe, he will surely protect us from every trouble. At the time of Eka Bhajan organized at Sirsi Ashram, a devotee by name Vasudeva Shetty came from Pune to take part in this Bhajana program. According to the rules of Eka Bhajan, Bhajan singers, they are not supposed to leave the instrument that is used for Bhajan singing called as Tala, and they are not supposed to place it down till they finish this Bhajana Saptaha. Vasudeva Shetty was informed by Pujya Mahabala Swami that today you are going to have darshana of Bhagwan Nityananda. So be careful and keep watching. The bhajan went on till next morning, and the bhajan singers were shifting from one to other. And it was early morning. Only Vasudeva Shetty was singing bhajan, rest all were fast asleep. At this moment, there came a man with white cloth and with divine look on his face, who just came inside the mandir, and with same speed he went out. Vasudeva Shetty for the moment thought that it could be Bhagwan Nityananda, and he wanted to touch his lotus feet. But as per the rule of the bhajan, he is not supposed to place tala down. After that, Mahabala Swami said to Vasudeva Shetty that Nityananda Swami has visited ashram. Vasudeva Shetty expressed his disappointment because he could not touch his lotus feet and seek his blessing. Anyhow, he was glad that at least he had darshan of Bhagwan Nityananda. Later, Vasudeva Shetty, he involved himself in the development activities of Sanakatte Ashram. Pujya Mahabala Swami is known for his miracles. His staunch devotee by name Vishnu Harikant has witnessed ample number of miracles, and he has experienced on his own. Vishnu Harikant once met with a road accident and fell into water. It was impossible to survive, but with the grace of Mahabala Swami, he was saved in a miraculous way. At Sanakatte Ashram, during the occasion of Vyasa Purnima, Satyanarayana Puja was organized. In the afternoon, there came a mad fellow who sat on the edge of a well, and after some time he jumped into the well, which was 60 feet deep. Everyone started screaming that he might be dead. Mahabala Swami was in meditation. Devotees rushed to him to tell this. However, Swami was calm and he said that nothing is wrong, he is alive. So they tried to bring him up with great difficulty, and he was not just alive, he was relieved of his madness as well. Mahabala Swami once wrote a letter to his devotee Vishnu Harikant under the address Vishnu Harikant Panchayat Chairman. Vishnu Harikant told Mahabala Swami that he is not Panchayat Chairman and he is not even a Panchayat member. To which Mahabala Swami told, if that is so, you will be in future. As per his divine words, Vishnu Harikant contested Panchayat election and won election against all powerful candidates. He served for 5 years. According to him, this could happen only because of the blessing of Mahabala Swami. Mahabala Swami's devotee by name Umesh Narayan Sanu was working in forest department. Out of duty, he had to go to Bangalore. He came to Mahabala Swami to inform this, but Mahabala Swami asked him not to go. As it was his duty, he had to leave. Later, Mahabala Swami gave him a sacred bhasma and asked him to keep it in his pocket. The bus in which Umesh Narayan Sanu was travelling, it met with terrible accident. And this accident, most of the passengers were badly wounded and got injured. However, with the grace of Guru, it is only Umesh Narayan Sanu who was saved without any injury. Pujya Mahabala Swami at Sanakatte Ashram, out of his divine power, has planted a coconut plant. This plant is also called as Sanjeevani plant. There came a 65-year-old man with a request that he want to have children. Mahabala Swami told him, keep watering the plant. If there appears flower in it, then you will have children. The man started doing the same thing. On third day, there was flower in the coconut plant. People were surprised to see this, a coconut plant bearing flower. As per Mahabala Swami's word, the old man had children too. Byadagi Siddhanna Maharaj was conferred with Dikshe by Mahabala Swami. Byadagi Siddhanna wanted to sacrifice his life many a times, but he could not do this. Once he decided to sacrifice his life, so he left from his place. He stopped intake of food and water. His devotees informed this to Pujya Vijayananda Swami of Bevinkoppa Anandashrama, who said, don't worry, nothing will happen. And he left to meet Siddhanna Maharaj. As other devotees would join him in Ankola, he reached Ankola a bit early. As there was enough time for others to reach, Vijayananda Swami went to Sanakatte ashram. There, Parameshwara gave him tender coconut from the same Sanjeevani tree. As Vijayananda Swami was suffering with cold, he did not drink and kept it in car. As they reached Siddhanna's place, Vijayananda Swami took tender coconut and told him, your Guru Mahabala Swami has sent this tender coconut to you. Drink this. Siddhanna was very happy to hear this and he drank the tender coconut water. He lived for 3 more years with the blessing of Mahabala Swami. A devotee by name Ganapu from Bhatkal. Though he was a government employee, he was leading his life with a very less salary. Once he invited Mahabala Swami to his house. Mahabala Swami willingly visited his house with many devotees. Ganapu's wife prepared little paisam, but when she saw these many devotees, she was worried how to serve this little food. So she expressed her worry with Mahabala Swami. Swami asked her to get tulasi and water. He told her to put it in the vessel of paisam and close it. She served food to all of them, and even after that, food was still there in the vessel. At the time of Kar festival at Gokarna, Agnihotri Brahmana Vidwan Samba Dikshit has thrice witnessed the flag tied to chariot would fly and fall on the lap of Mahabala Swami wherever he is. He told Vijayananda Swami of Bevinkoppa Anandashrama that Mahabala Swami is none other than Mahabaleshwara in human form. Bhagwan Nityananda knew about it. That's why he named him as Mahabala Swami. After reaching Avaduta state, Pujya Mahabala Swami was roaming around in Gokarna, and once he was seen offering worship to the linga, and this linga was worshipped only by the priest from upper caste. Who saw this and he was annoyed, he came to attack Mahabala Swami. As he raised his leg to stamp Mahabala Swami, a sharp silver piece edge of a wooden stool by accident went inside his leg and he was bleeding badly. Immediately he was taken to doctor, but doctor was astonished to see the pus formed in the wound which was very recent. Doctor asked Purohit what he did. Purohit said that as he raised his leg to stamp Mahabala Swami, this happened. Doctor was aware of Mahabala Swami's divine power, so he asked Purohit to go back to Mahabala Swami and ask sorry. Priest did the same thing. Mahabala Swami was given power by Bhagwan Nityananda to give Sri Ram Jai Ram mantra to his devotees. Mahabala Swami conferred Sri Rama mantra Dikshe to Pujya Atmananda Saraswati Swami of Ujire, Rama Mandir, and blessed him to construct Rama Mandir. Prior to the installation of Sri Rama statue, Atmananda Saraswati Swamiji took it to Sirshi Ashram, and after worshipping it there, he brought it to Ujire for installation. Trikala Jnani Mahabala Swami was well aware of Janananda Swami's Samadhi. That's why, prior to his Samadhi, he reached Kanchan Ghat. It is under his guidance the process of Samadhi was carried out at Kanchangat. Pujya Mahabala Swami, before attaining Mahasamadhi, told his devotees that I am tired of this life cycle. My time has come to end all my incarnation. Tomorrow you all gather here as there going to be bhajan here. Saying this, on October 27, 1994, Pujya Mahabala Swami attained Mahasamadhi. His Samadhi Mandir is constructed in Shirsi, and even after his Samadhi, many devotees have experienced his presence in the Samadhi Mandir. Later, some powerful source tried to gain control over Samadhi Mandir of Mahabala Swami. With the constant objection of Bevinkoppa Vijayananda Swami and other devotees, they were held back. Later, Nityananda Seva Samiti was formed, and under which many welfare programs are organized. If we go on talking about Pujya Mahabala Swami, it's going to be never-ending episode, because Mahabala Swami has shown so many pavadas, miracles. It may not be possible to show all that in one episode. We end this episode with this information, and in the next episode, we will bring before you other disciples of Bhagwan Nityananda from Billava community. Namo Nityanandaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Nityananda.